Hello YouTube and welcome to Prime Productions. I'm here to help enhance your tabletop gaming experience. If you're new to this channel, I primarily cover Paizo tabletop role-playing games like Pathfinder and Starfinder. And welcome back to Rediculus builds, where I build silly, wackadoo builds for Pathfinder 2nd Edition, or in this case, the Starfinder 2nd Edition playtest. These aren't the most ridiculously powerful builds, they're just solid builds that are very, very silly. So, full disclosure, this build was actually designed by a friend for a Starfinder 1st Edition campaign, but I asked him and he said it was okay for me to post it, and luckily the basis for the build works for Starfinder 2nd Edition. Also, a bit of backstory to understand this build. This is the alien species, the Morlama. That's right, there are alien walrus people. They don't have legs, and somehow their flippers are just as dexterous as hands. Now, they were an alien species in Starfinder 1st Edition, but they haven't been released for Starfinder 2nd Edition yet, not even the playtest. Luckily, we can do a reasonable approximation for them using a Pathfinder 2nd Edition Ancestry, and because the two systems are cross-compatible, we should be good to go. So yeah, the idea behind this build is a super spy secret agent walrus. Just the absurdity of a walrus walking into a building and being so good at disguise and bluff that they can trick people into thinking that they are not a walrus. So, as always, when building a character, we go through the ABCs of character creation, and A stands for Ancestry. Our super spy walrus here is going to be an awakened animal. Right off the bat, awakened animals let us choose a size, and Morlamas were large in 1st edition, so large it is, and this gets us a one-time bonus of 10 extra hit points. They also start play with one relevant natural attack. Now, we could choose a Jaws attack for those walrus tusks, but for reasons I'll show later, I think I'm just going to go for the fist, which is agile, finesse, unarmed, and non-lethal. Awakened animals have some attribute adjustments, but we are going to forego those for the alternate rules of a boost to 2 attributes with no flaws, and make our walrus have bonuses to dexterity and charisma. Finally, we're going to move on to heritage, and here's where the silliness starts. Let's choose running animal to give our walrus a land speed of 30, faster than a standard human. For our first level ancestry feat, we can choose sea legs, which gives us a swim speed of 10 and also lets us hold our breath underwater for up to 5 minutes. This gives us a land speed faster than a human and still have a swim speed for the silly, ridiculous character concept. For background, well, we want our walrus to be a super spy, so I think the closest background in the playtest is cleaner, where you clean up after criminal messes. Anyway, that background nets us a bonus to dexterity or charisma and a free boost. We want a boost to both dexterity and charisma, so there you go. The background also nets us the deception skill along with the underworld lore skill and the without a trace skill feat. This is a new skill feat that makes it harder to find you or find clues about you if you cover your tracks. For our class, there's really no question we want to be an operative. Just by being an operative, we get a boost to dexterity, and operatives are, of course, an 8 HP per level class. They start off with the Sharpshooter class feature, which gives them the aim activity. This activity costs a single action and gives our operative the ability to zero in on an enemy. Until the end of the round, all remaining ranged firearm attacks that the operative makes on that enemy deal an extra 1d4 damage, and the operative reduces the bonus from cover against that enemy. Also, operatives get the new Mobile Reload class feature, which lets them move and reload as one action. Lastly, operatives get a subclass called an Operative Specialization. Now, there's a lot of different operative subclasses to choose from. I was tempted to go with Ghost for the deception ability and the ability to blend into crowds, but I think it's funnier if our operative is, in addition to everything else, a ninja. So I'm going to go with Striker. First of all, Striker gets us the athletic skill. Secondly, Striker lets us use our sharpshooter action with unarmed attacks, or at least it's supposed to, along with agile melee weapon attacks. Thus, our operative can run up to someone super fast and judo chop them into unconsciousness with their flipper. Now, the Operative subclass does let us choose our class attribute as Strength if we want, but I think we should stick with Dexterity. Oh, and the Striker also nets us the Reactive Step Reaction, which helps us move after someone if they move away from us. Now, we get a class feat at first level as an Operative. I'm going to go with Mobile Aim, which lets us aim as we move. I think that is supposed to work with the Striker subclass, but rules as written, it technically doesn't. I'm going to assume that it's supposed to, though. As for skills, the Operative gets 3 more. Let's go with Thievery, Stealth, and Acrobatics. And of course, the Operative gets access to a bunch of other stuff that I'll put on screen now. Notice that some of these abilities will be different than a normal Operative because of how the Striker subclass operates. Finally, every class gets a boost to 4 different attributes of their choice. We'll go with Strength, Dexterity, Constitution, and Charisma. This should get us enough Charisma to be able to use Deception effectively, and Deception is the skill used for Disguise. For equipment, we'll need some light armor, probably carbon skin. Our Super Spy also needs a weapon. I'd suggest the semi-auto pistol so we can pretend to be James Bond with our Walter PPK. Of course, those will need to be upgraded as we level. We'll also need our deadly flipper attacks to have some sort of stopping power, so we will need the hard light hand wraps that increase our unarmed attacks. We'll probably also want to grab the voice modulator augmentation, which helps with disguises, and we'll certainly want the hollow skin, which is a Starfinder version of a disguise toolkit. Eventually we'll want to grab the tactical morphic skin, which lets us disguise ourselves as creatures of other ancestries without penalty. As for leveling to 2, we get a skill feat and a class feat. For the skill feat, the new Favored Disguise lets us choose a single disguise that we cannot critically fail to adopt when we disguise. So as long as our favored disguise is something generic like an office worker, we'll probably be fine. As for class feat, the obvious answer is Hair Trigger, but I already talked about how that feat is so stupid good it might be broken and I hate it. So I'm going to grab Double Tap, which lets us for 2 actions aim, then attack the same target twice. At level 3, the focused class feature just increases our will saves to Expert. We also get On the Move, which gives us a plus 5 foot bonus to our land speed, and the Tactical Advance activity. I'll put that on screen now so you can read it. We get a skill increase, obviously Deception, to make our disguise better, and we also get the Specialized Skill set, which gives us a free skill feat, but it has to be for the Athletic skill because that's the skill we got from our Striker subclass. I think we should just grab Quick Jump. At level 4, we get another skill feat and class feat. As a skill feat, I'd grab Quick Disguise. That lets us shave down the time it takes to disguise from 10 minutes down to 1 minute. As a class feat, Switch Target lets us, as a free action, switch the target of our aim action if we downed our original aim target. And the final level we'll do today is level 5. It's here where the bonus damage from aim goes up to 2d4. Also, we get another Ancestry feat, so let's go with Fascinated by Society, which nets our Walrus Super Spy the Society skill, and something similar to the Dubious Knowledge skill feat. We also get a boost to 4 attributes, so let's double down on Strength, Dexterity, Constitution, and Charisma. Now, the Master Gunner class feature normally increases our proficiency in simple and martial guns to Master, but because we are a Striker, instead, it increases our proficiency in simple guns, agile one-handed melee weapons, and unarmed attacks to Master. It also gives us critical specialization with those weapons. Now, every class gets another skill increase at level 5, so let's go with Athletics. And lastly, our class feature Urban Operator lets us ignore difficult terrain from crowds and trash. And there you go, a silly Walrus Operative from the Starfinder playtest. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a fun little build and also a good introduction to the Starfinder playtest Operative. What do you think? Do you have any comments, criticisms? Let me know in the comments below, and while you're down there, make sure to like and subscribe. That tells not only me, but also YouTube that you like this kind of content and would like to see more. And until next time, thank you, good luck, and happy gaming!